All right, today we're going to look at slope-intercept form and graphing equations. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Y is y and x is x. M is going to be a number, and that is what we call our slope. That tells us how steep a line will be, whether it's more up and down, a little bit lays a little flat. And then our b is our y-intercept, and that is where it crosses the y-axis, and this is where we're going to start our graphing. So we have y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 4. So identify the slope in the y-intercept. So my slope is going to be negative 2 over 3. And then my b is going to be my 4. And so we're going to plot the y-intercept first. We're going to find the 4, go to our y-axis, and we're going to go to positive 4. It says use the slope rise over run to determine additional points. So when we graph rise over run. So the top number of our fraction is our rise, bottom is our run. We will have some negatives in our fractions. So negative just tells us the direction that we run. So if it's positive, we'll go to the right, and negative will go to the left. So we have negative 2. So again, negative just means left. So we're going to rise 2 spaces and go to the left 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And put a dot. And then we keep going up until we get off the page. So we can no longer go more. So we're going to do the opposite and go down. So we're going to go down 2 and to the left or to the right 3, down 2 and then to the right 3. And so here is our equation. Y equals negative 2x plus negative 2/3 x plus 4, or minus or plus 4. All right, so let's look at another example. So for this one, we have y equals negative 3 plus x over 2. So for this one, my slope, this one's written kind of differently. It has x on top. So my slope next to my x is a 1. So my slope is 1 over 2. My b is the minus 3. So it's going to be that plus or the minus at the end. So for my rise, I have 1. My run, I have 2. So we start with our b, our minus 3 on the y-axis. And then from there, we're going to rise 1, run 2. So since both numbers are positive, we're going to go to the right when we run. So we're going to go up 1, right 2 spaces, up 1, right 2 spaces, up 1, right 2 spaces. And then once we go as far up, we're now going to do the opposite and go down. So we're going to go down 1, left 2 spaces, down 1, left 2 spaces, down 1, left 2 spaces. And then we have our line. All of these lines are going to be diagonal. So when you do the opposite, you will realize if you have messed up or not. So type of slope, this is going to be a positive slope. Our slope is 1 over 2. Our x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, and that crosses at 6, 0. And then our y-intercept is where it crosses at the y-axis, which is 0, negative 3. All right, number 2, we have y equals x minus 4. So my m is a number in front of x. I don't have a number, but there is a number hidden, and that's going to be 1. So m is 1. B is the minus 4 at the end. My rise and my run is my number in front of x, which is 1. It's not a fraction. We have to make it a fraction, so we're going to put 1 underneath. Rise is 1. Run is 1. We're going to start at negative 4 on our y-axis. Put a dot. And then since both numbers are positive, we're going to run to the right since both numbers are positive. So we're going to go up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1, and then we're going to continue the pattern up. So we go as far up, then we'll do the opposite, and we'll go down. So we'll go left 1, down 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1. All right, so our type of slope, this is positive. Our slope was 1. Our x-intercept is where it crosses on the x-axis. So that point is 4, 0. And then our y-intercept is where it crosses on the y-axis, and that is at 0, negative 4. Number 3, we have y equals negative 2x. So my m is a number in front, negative 2. So this time there is no number at the end. There's no plus or minus. So since there is nothing, the number that represents our b is going to be 0. Our rise and our run. So we need to make it a fraction by putting 1 underneath so we can have a rise and run. So our rise is -2, run is 1. We're going to start our graph at the center at 0, 0. And then we're going to do our rise. Remember, negative just means left. So we're going to rise 2 spaces, 1, 2, left 1 space. Rise 2 spaces, left 1 space, rise 2 spaces, left 1. Do the opposite, down 2 spaces, right 1, down 2 spaces, right 1. So our graphs, when they are negative, it is going to go to the left. So when I pull my pen across the page, we notice that the line is going down. So that's how we know when it's positive, when it looks like negative slope. So we have type of slope is negative. Our slope was -2. Our x-intercept is at the origin, so 0, 0. And then same for our y, it's at 0, 0. Y equals 3. So for this one, there is no x. There's no plus or minus. So for this one is going to have a slope of 3. Since there's not an x, this is going to be our HOI, which means there is 0 slope. So we won't have a rise, and we won't have a run. So we're going to go to 3, and we're going to have a horizontal line at 3. So our type of slope is 0. What is our slope? 0. X-intercept, it does not cross the x-axis, but we do have a y-intercept, and that's going to be 0, 3. And last one, we have x equals 3. So this one, since it's x equals, there is no slope. And since it's x equals, this will also be our undefined slope, which means there is no slope at all. There does nothing exist. And then there is no b. There is no rise. There is no run. So this is going to be a vertical line at 3. So type of slope, it is undefined. What is the slope? Undefined. We do have an x-intercept. It crosses at 3, 0. And then there is no y-intercept. It does not cross the y-intercept.